Today's episode of Distorted View Daily is brought to you by Trojan Ultra Relax Fit Condoms. Whether you're a brother who likes to sag or a thrill seeker who wants a condom with an unreliable hold to play pregnancy roulette with, Trojan Ultra Relax Fits are designed with oversized latex tubing, a flared base, and a reverse tapered tip to ensure maximum minimum hold. Trojan Relax Low-Rise Loose Fits. You won't even know it's on. You should actually check regularly to make sure it's still on. Distorted View Daily proudly presents Lusting After Your Mother-in-Law.
This is my mother-in-law's house. This is her bed. I wish she was right here. I'd slide my cock right inside her. Yeah, baby. Yeah, you want some? I want to fuck you, don't you? Yeah. Oh, yeah. 63 years old, the fucking lady is hot. Oh, this is where she sleeps right here. I'm rubbing my cock all over her fucking pillow and blanket. So when she comes in, she can sleep, she can smell the fucking smell of my balls and my cock and my pre-cum all over her face. Yeah, this is where I want to fuck the shit out of her, man. Someday I will.
Hey freaks, it's Wednesday, October 24th, 2018. Coming up on the program today, yet another racist robocall, plus a delusional black girl who thinks she's white, showdown at the Tesla Supercharger, and drinking tender pussy juice. Pussy juice! All this coming up today.
It's the Distorted View Show with Tim Henson.
You know what it is! Pussy juice! Pussy juice!
Hey freaks, Tim Henson, back here with you for the Wednesday podcast. Got a great one for you today. Man, that Facebook, I gotta get off it. I know everyone says that, but it really is infuriating. Half of the people on there I disagree with politically. The other half, I agree with them, but they're just as annoying as the people I disagree with. Is there a word for that phenomenon? I bet you in Japanese there is. What is it? You're all just desperate to get internet points and hearts and thumbs up and likes and shit. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm desperate for that stuff too, but I do it the right way. Get yourself a podcast, a venue. Sign up for Twitch or YouTube or something. That way people can search you out if they want to hear from you. You wanted to add me as a friend because we barely knew each other in high school. Now my wall is flooded with your thoughts on immigration every fucking day. I gotta just start muting people or something. So my very first job in Columbus was at a computerized testing center. I'm sure I talked about that before. And actually, I went to college with a girl who ended up working there, and I got the job through her. It was right after I moved back from Texas, after that failed internet radio company, Real Talk, right? So I came back to Columbus. Wasn't going to school at that point, didn't have a job, had an apartment though, and I had about a month's worth of rent in the bank, so I was hurting for a job. So I called up my friend and I said, hey, what are you doing? And she worked less than a mile down the road. It was amazing, right? So she's like, they need help. I'll talk to my boss, get you an interview. Now, I met with the boss, who was, a middle-aged woman, and she loved me. Because my friend said, Tim is a big fucking fairy. And this woman had a lot of great experiences with gay people in the 80s. Like they would snort coke off of her tits or something. And I don't know if she thought that's how this relationship was going to roll. But whatever. She was weird. She'll be the first person to tell you. She's a freak, man. Total weirdo. She had a kid. And that kid, lo and behold, years later, when I was going to work there, he was a little boy, right? Little kid. Now he's all grown up and is trans. His preferred pronoun is she, so whatever. So she has posted on Facebook something that just pissed me off for no reason. Really, I don't have a skin in this game when it comes to trannies and stuff. I'm all for people, expressing themselves or living their life however they want to or whatever. All right, but the post goes like this. I genuinely believe that cis women, and for those of you that don't know, cis women are like normal women. They were born women with woman parts, tits and pussies and stuff. Just like your standard woman, right? Not a trans woman. I genuinely believe that cis women have it so much better than trans women, and it infuriates me. I'd be happy to take on some of the systemic problems of cis womanhood under patriarchy if it meant my gender was respected. Ask any cis woman if she'd be happy to be trans. You will hear fucking crickets. Cis women know what the score is. And I got something to say about that, but I want to also read you the first reply from another trans woman. Oh, this is quoting here. Oh, but you wouldn't feel the same way if you had periods. Laugh out loud. Oh, don't fucking try me. And then my boss's trans daughter replied to that comment with, anyone who complains about period pains obviously hasn't seen my bleeding asshole during a good IBS attack. I know pain. I think what bothers me about all of this is a need to be the winner of the victimhood cook-off. Instead of just saying, wow, you know, I'm having a really tough time today being trans. It's tough. Sometimes women don't even know what I'm going through. It's like a competition, right? These cis women have it so much better. I'd take their bleeding cunts any day over the discrimination I'm getting. But you're kind of doing the thing that you rail against people for doing, and that is minimizing other people's experiences and pain. Like, so you're saying, my life is so much worse. These women just have to deal with bleeding pussies. That's nothing. But you don't know that it's nothing because you've never experienced bleeding pussies and all that comes with it. The bigger point, of course, is you've got people you can really be angry with. Don't take it out on women because they're menstruating. They can't help that. Take it out on, like, the Westboro Baptist Church people who want to see you murdered. You girls have bigger fish to fry. I like that she's thought about that, though. The whole menstruation thing. Yeah, I know. I pretty much know what menstruation's all about. I have IBS. I bleed out of my asshole occasionally. Same diff. Yeah, you've got a firm grasp on that experience. So there you go. It just kind of annoyed me. Everyone just annoys me. I need to get off of Twitter. Real quick, we were talking about Kids Bop recently. Talk about awful, right? I was trying to give you some examples of bad Kids Bop songs. Songs that should never have a children's lullaby version of. So Vanessa messaged me and she said, hey, did you know that Disturbia was turned into a Kids Bop song? This is Rihanna's Disturbia. And, you know, this song doesn't have a lot of swear words in it or anything, but it is about, like, mental anguish, anxiety, and confusion. Some heavy stuff for kids to be bopping along to.
No more gas in the red. Nothing heard, nothing said.
It's one thing to listen to this music, but this song actually has a music video that goes along with it. The visual aspect is killing me. If you want to see this, I'll post it on Twitter or something. Up on YouTube. They just posted this a couple weeks ago.
I don't wanna think about it. Feels like I'm going insane.
All right. You know, the interesting thing about this, the person who shared this with me said, I was listening to the podcast this morning on my way to work, and then this video keeps popping up on my Facebook ad section. Her theory is that Facebook is listening, and you know what? I agree. I was talking about something on the podcast a while ago, and then all of a sudden on Facebook, I started getting ads for it. Now, it's one thing to, like, search for something on Amazon or do a Google search for a product and then start seeing ads for it. But when you're just, like, talking about something, I don't know who's behind this. If it's Siri or Alexa, don't you dare, bitch. Thought I was going to activate her. I don't know if one of these voice assistants are listening or what, but it's scary. I talked for 5 minutes about menstruation earlier in the podcast. I shudder to think what sort of freaky-ass ads you guys are getting now. Sorry. All right, let's move on. I've got a clip from Dr. Phil here. This was just posted.
I know a lot of people take issue with my beliefs. I'm white.
Here's the thing, though. She's not white. She's most definitely a black girl. She doesn't want to be, though.
I'm a Caucasian because Everything about me is different from an African American. I have naturally straight hair. My hair isn't nappy. It doesn't require weave. My nose is not giant as like African Americans. My lips are perfect. They're not too big and they're not too small.
You could also drive a goddamn Mack truck through her 2 front teeth. The gap is so huge. Now, having gappy teeth isn't a black or white trait. It's just an observation. She's acting like she's perfect here. I've got a cute little nose. Her nose is big. BT dubs.
Perfect. They're not too big and they're not too small. Like, they're just perfect. My ears, I don't have black.
She doesn't have thin lips. She has full lips. I don't know what, like, everything she says it's the opposite. Her ears are big too. What? I mean, what does she see when she looks in the mirror? Obviously, she sees a Caucasian. The rest of us see something else.
Too big and they're not too small. Like, they're just perfect. My ears, I don't have black people ears because they're really giant. Most African Americans.
Do black people have large ears or tiny ears? Like, she shows off her ears, they look big. So I guess she's saying, like, black people have smaller than normal ears?
Don't have black people ears because they're really giant. Most African Americans speak ghetto. But when it comes to black people, I think they're all ugly and I have nothing in common with them.
That's 2 different things there. Most black people talk ghetto, but when it comes to me, I'm pretty. That's a different topic now.
I'm different from African Americans because I'm white. My figure is just like Kim Kardashian, and she's a wonderful role model.
And she's also not white. Wait, is she white? I thought she was like Lebanese or something. Like, she's half white. Maybe. I don't know.
I act and I think like a white person instead of a black person.
You better be doing Soul Cycle or hot yoga and drinking pumpkin spice lattes. Otherwise, you fail White Bitch 101.
I believe that I'm completely and utterly better than them. Like, we're on 2 different levels. Like, okay.
Well, she certainly sounds like a white person talking.
African Americans are here. I'm here. White people act and think just way more mature than African Americans. Black.
Wow, she's never listened to me.
Rape my boy pussy! Rape my boy pussy!
I'm part of the master race. I want to get bred like an animal. My name is Tim Henson, the new face of genital herpes. Bitch, bitch,
Yeah.
bitch. Listen to that intelligence ooze out of me. Bitch, bitch, bitch,
Okay,
bitch.
that's enough.
Yeah, you stroke that cocky. Stroke it, pump it. Pump that cock. Pump it. In and out, just stick it in the hole and fuck it.
I got first place in the duck call.
We're not done yet. Okay. I think we need more examples of me being stupid.
Oh God, I'm sticking my little finger in my dick hole. Isn't that hot?
Yeah, you stroke that cocky. Stroke it, pump it. Pump that cock. Pump it. In and out, just stick it in the hole and fuck it. All right. So I am someone she looks up to, obviously, because I'm white.
People, they think in a criminal way. When I think about African Americans, I feel like asking them, what is wrong with them? They're really dangerous.
Why you gotta be so black?
If an African American is on the same street as I am, I'll cross the street to avoid their chaotic, thuggish ways.
Are you okay?
I'm irritated.
I'm sorry.
So this is her mom, I guess.
I just know that I'm white. I mean, she might not know that I'm white, but I know that I'm white. I can feel it through my veins. I feel it through my blood. I tell my mom I'll never be like any of those Negroes. My mom tries to criticize me about my supposed race. I tell her she's just ignorant.
Well, how do you think Dr. Phil's gonna handle this?
Okay, Treasure, how are you this morning?
Pretty great.
Her name is Treasure. Certainly sounds like a white girl's name, right?
I'm all right.
Dr. Phil said, I guess talk to the mom first and ask this girl, is there anything that you want corrected? And the girl said, hey, I'm not delusional. You called me delusional. I'm smart. I'm intelligent.
Being delusional and being intelligent are not mutually exclusive.
Well, I feel like if you're being delusional, then you gotta be some type of retarded. And I'm not that.
Oh, I love this girl.
Well,
flinging that R word around on national television. Marry me.
I have 2 things to say about that. Number one,
here we're going to get all high and mighty about the R word here.
Absolutely, just simply not the fact. And number 2, using that word is very derogatory. So I'd appreciate it if you wouldn't use that word.
Yeah, well, okay, well, I'll understand, only because I'm a very respectful person. And if you wish that I don't use that word, then I most definitely won't use it.
Okay, appreciate that.
Okay, no problem.
When you say that you believe yourself to be Caucasian, tell me why you believe that to be true.
Well, I know I'm a Caucasian because when I wake up in the morning, I just have such a great life. And that my hair is so perfect, my skin isn't ugly, and I'm not fat also, which is also a really African-American thing. So, like, I'm just nowhere near like them. And plus, they're so thug and criminal that I can't relate.
Okay.
Yeah, unpack that, Dr. Phil. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Well, I mean, that's just...
Retarded. Say retarded. It is. Sometimes there's no other word for it.
So riddled
Retarded.
with ignorance, I don't even know how to respond.
Okay.
And,
He almost said it. Riddled with ignorance, retarded. I guess this episode aired today, or maybe yesterday. It was posted just 7 hours ago on the Dr. Phil Facebook page, so I don't have the full story here. I don't know what ends up happening with Treasure. I'm guessing a DNA test, right?
You're completely wrong. I know who I am, and I know my race, and I'm a proud white person.
And when she says she's proud, she's like KKK proud.
If my mom is afraid that I might join the Ku Klux Klan, the only thing that she needs to know is I may just do it if they offer me a hood.
The last very short clip I'm going to play for you is Dr. Phil asking Treasure her definition of empathy.
I don't have any. I feel like if you have empathy, then you have sympathy for someone. You know, like if I see a homeless person on the street and I give him $1, then I have empathy for him. I feel like, oh, wow, he's homeless. But honestly, for me, if I gave a homeless person $1, I would take it back just because I would like to see the sadness on his face of me, you know, tricking him.
She's sounding more and more like a white person as this episode rolls on.
They give him money.
I'm starting to believe her. Anyway, that's Treasure for you on the most recent episode of Dr. Phil. Moving on, I've got a confrontation at a Tesla charging station. This has got to be between two white people, right? This sounds like a white argument. Let's see what happens.
I've been waiting for 30 minutes.
Oh, okay, so I guess what's happened here is a guy's been waiting. You know, these Tesla charging stations, they take a long time to charge. It's not like, you know, pumping gas. You got to wait. The car's got to charge. It takes at least a half hour, right? So this guy was waiting for his turn, and another car came zooming in and took his spot.
Born in line. I've been waiting for 30 minutes. It's my turn. I came around to take the spot.
You fucking liar!
Oh, wait. Okay, I was wrong. It's between a Caucasian and an Asian.
Came around to take the spot.
You fucking liar!
I've been waiting here the whole time. That guy took the car before.
Where did you find your car?
I've been waiting right there. I came around after this one opened up. Fuck you. Yeah,
I can't look at everybody.
You're gonna give yourself a stroke.
He's saying that he can't look, you know. How is he supposed to know you were waiting for that spot?
There, I came around after this one opened up.
Good point.
Yeah,
I can't look at everybody.
You're gonna give yourself a stroke. Calm down.
Like when you're in the middle of a fight, like that's the worst thing to tell someone. Hey, calm down. No one's gonna calm down. Fuck you. Tell me to calm down. I'll have a stroke if I want to have a stroke.
I know he's gonna stress himself out. Tell him to calm down.
Why you don't mention him. He stopped.
Well, you don't come over and pound on people's cars. That's common respect. No, he didn't.
Oh.
He didn't.
You, that's one.
Yeah, I guess the Asian guy was pounding on the car.
No, he didn't.
Now he's filming because the other guy's filming.
He didn't.
You, that's one.
He came over.
You, that's two. I got the fucking face.
He came over and he pounded on.
Like I can't understand a lot of what the Asian guy is saying. The fuck you part is pretty clear though. Fuck you!
I got the fucking face.
He came over and he pounded on a fist on my car. That's unacceptable.
A lot of people doing that.
No,
hey,
that wasn't. It wasn't.
We came on your car.
You told me.
I shit on your car.
Calm down. He's gonna.
You fuck you.
Oh, calm down.
I bukkake all over your car.
He's gonna get his blood pressure up.
I know.
Everybody die.
No, it's your.
Oh my god, you know what? This old guy does look like something's wrong with him. He's like, he's all shaky. And I think he's already had a stroke because he can't move one of his arms, right?
I know.
Everybody die.
No, it's your.
Oh, and he's stumbling around too?
Oh, calm down.
He's gonna get his blood pressure up.
I know.
He might die! No, it's your fault. You need to calm down.
Fuck you!
Here, listen. Listen.
Fuck you!
No, listen. Listen.
Calm down.
Enough. Enough.
You want to hit me?
Enough. Enough.
You want to hit me? The guy's nowhere near him. He's telling you to walk away.
Calm down.
You want to hit me, huh?
Enough. Enough.
You just bukkakied all over his car.
You want to hit me?
Enough. Enough. Let it go. Stop.
Fuck you!
Stop. Let it go.
Oh, I love that song. Conceal, don't feel, don't let them know. Well, now they know.
Let it go. Let it go.
They might die! Fuck you!
Stop. Let it go. Let it go.
You fucking liar! Fuck you!
No.
I don't care what they're going to say. Let the storm rage on. Cold never bothered me anyway.
Fuck you!
No, fuck you!
Fuck you!
Asshole, fuck you!
Fuck you!
Fuck you!
Fuck you!
Fuck you!
Fuck you!
Fuck you! Times infinity! All right, I won. And with that, let's get into the crazy, bizarre, twisted up, fucked up.
Fuck you!
No.
Son of a bitch. News right now. If you like Distorted View Daily and you would like to support this nonsense, why not consider signing up and becoming a true and honorable freak of the Distorted View Sideshow TV's member site, where you get full access to the entire archive of programs. Plus, every week we do exclusive shows. Yesterday was a Sideshow exclusive podcast, and tomorrow we'll be doing another one. So it's a great time to sign up. Membership's very inexpensive, only $6.99 a month, even less when you opt for a quarterly, semi-annual, yearly, or lifetime membership. Other ways to support the show, we've got a Patreon account. You can pledge as little as $1, pledge a few bucks, and you'll get access to our special voicemail line where I will play your calls first. I also occasionally do videos just for patrons, or little audio things, zip files of sound effects, that type of stuff. Check it out, patreon.com/distortedview. All right, 3 quick stories, then we'll get the hell out of here. First up, as hard as I'm trying to avoid politics, it's just impossible. So much weird shit going down. Actually, the first story we have is an update to a previous story I read probably about a month ago. Once again, an out-of-state website is running racist robocall ads attacking a candidate who aims to be the first black governor in Florida's history. Yes, the story comes from our most fucked up state, naturally.
Praise Jesus. Give me hallelujah. That home of Florida. Did the most fucked up day. Florida is a most fucked up day. Praise Jesus.
Thanks, little buddy. On Tuesday, voters began receiving phone calls with a pre-recorded message from a narrator pretending to be Tallahassee Mayor Andrew Gillum and speaking with intentionally poor and offensive grammar. Oh no. Guess what, freaks? I just happen to have that audio here.
Well, hello there.
Jesus.
I is the Negro Andrew Gillum, and I'll be asking you to make me governor of this here.
Governor? Is that even like a stereotypical black way of saying governor?
Be governor.
Oh, it's so bad at even being offensive.
And I'll be asking you to make me governor of this here state of Florida.
It's funny because the news story that actually has the audio of this stops midway through and says, this is not really Andrew Gillum, like anyone thought it was. All right, the message, which is laid over background audio of a choir singing harmonies, goes on to mock Gillum's health care plan. Do I have more audio from this thing? Maybe another clip here.
My steampunk, who doesn't call me monkey, is doing a lot of hollering.
God. Just a short little clip, but damn, there was a lot of offensiveness in that 2 seconds. I really wish I had the full ad here because the ad goes on to mock Gillum's healthcare plan by claiming he'd give chicken feet to everyone in Florida to place under their pillows rather than provide the white man's science-based medicine. The message, Jesus, also makes derogatory statements about Jews, of course, and references to slavery. The robocall, which Gillum's campaign blasted as deeply offensive, which is almost an understatement there, is the second to go out during the general election. A disclaimer at the end of the robocall attributes the message to the same podcast. There's a podcast that produced a similar automated message in late August and drew widespread condemnation from both Gillum and his Republican opponent, Ron DeSantis. These disgusting robocalls represent a continuation of the ugliest, most divisive campaign in Florida's history. Gillum campaign spokesman Jeff Burgin said, we would hope that these calls and the dangerous people who are behind them are not given any more attention than they already have been. The call once again injects the issue of race and racism into a campaign that's been dominated by the topic ever since the first days of the general election, when DeSantis, speaking about his opponent's economic policies, said Florida voters would monkey this up. Oh, yeah, I remember that. All right, as I was talking, I managed to find the full version of this thing. Like, I can't imagine this is helping DeSantis's campaign. Because, like, okay, if someone who's very, very racist picks up the phone and hears this, they'll vote for DeSantis, but chances are they're going to vote for the white man anyway. And actually, some people who are on the fence, like, I don't know who to vote for, might actually vote for the black guy because they'll be so appalled that the other guy's running ads like this, even though, you know, the candidate's not really running the ad. All right, so I played the first few seconds of the ad, so I'm going to pick up after the monkey sound effect.
Doing a lot of hollering about how expensive my plans for health care be. But he be thinking of the white man's medicine, which is very expensive because it uses science and whatnot. But the medicine, my African race, be very...
I can't even understand half the shit this guy is saying.
Affordable. For instance, putting the chicken feet under your pillow during the full moon don't cost hardly nothing at all. So I promise that you make me Andrew Gillum, the governor, every people's what be ailing will get all the chicken feet they need. As to the claim by my esteemed opponent that I don't like the Jews, nothing be further from the truth. It was the Jews who owned the slave trade what done brought us Negroes to America to begin with. And they the ones that been putting Negroes in charge over the white folk.
That's pretty much it. According to, who posted this? Huffington Post? The disclaimer says it was paid for by The Road to Power. It's a white supremacist website and a podcast. I've got to check them out. Second story we have for you today, a perusal of the Ontario Cannabis Store's online portal on the first day of legalization turned up an array of expected products, you know, dried weed, various strains, oils, accessories. It also offered a cannabis-infused intimate spray, marketed under the enticingly named Fleur de Lune, which contains 8 milligrams of the psychoactive ingredient THC. That all sounds very good. The only problem is that the Ontario Cannabis Store had initially mislabeled how to apply the product, saying it was for sublingual use, which means under the tongue. Basically, they were telling you to take this stuff orally. In fact, the spray made by Hexocorp, which sounds like a company run by the alter ego of a supervillain. If I were the authorities, I would look into Hexocorp. I find it a little odd that their most well-known product is intimacy spray, yet they're stockpiling so much plutonium. Dun, dun, dun. In fact, the spray made by Hexocorp is meant to be applied on the genitals, not swallowed, particularly for women, to reduce such symptoms as inflammation. It's supposed to ease pussy puff. You know, when you've got a red, inflamed cunt. That's something else most trans women don't have to deal with. Score one for the cis ladies, I guess. All right, yes, in fact, the spray is meant to be applied on the genitals, particularly for women, to reduce inflammation and pain. That's according to Terry Lake, the Quebec-based company's vice president of corporate social responsibility. We always knew there was going to be bumps along the road. No country has done this to this extent, Lake said of Canada's rollout of legalized pot. It's a product like many that are used today for intimate areas of the body, like the butthole, but it should be labeled as such. Obviously, there's a mistake that needs to be corrected, so we'll certainly be following up with them to ensure that the right information is being given to consumers. The product description was corrected by the Ontario Cannabis Store after the Canadian press reached out for comment, but a spokesperson, this is what Canada's dealing with. As a country, this is their most pressing issue. They've legalized pot. There's all sorts of pot-related shit in stores now. It's a wonderful time to be Canadian, right? Meanwhile, a little south here in the U.S., we've got racist political ads. Half the country hates the other half of the country. We're near civil war. There's mail bombs being sent all over the place. Good Christ, we just need to legalize weed here, and everyone just needs to chill the fuck out. It would be great if our nation's biggest problem was inflamed pussy lips, or mislabeled pussy lip medication. I don't know. All right, where are we at here? The 30-millimeter bottle of Fleur de Lune Intimate Spray, which has been approved by Health Canada, sells online for $82. Good God, and yields about 300 shots of mist. Just a heads up, one critical aspect to note is that the cannabis-based spray is made with MCT, medium-chain triglyceride oil, which reacts chemically with latex. So, if you're using a condom, you might want to double-check and make sure your bitch ain't pregnant. All right, second story we have for you, or you ain't got any, blisters or warts popping up there. All right, final story we have for you today. This is a very short one. Comes from Fresno, California. Firefighters in California responded to a gated community to find a man had set his home on fire with a goddamn blowtorch. He wasn't trying to commit arson. What he was trying to do was to kill a spider. And I totally understand where this guy's coming from. I've dealt with large spiders. I actually did the humane thing. I didn't even, fuck around with the spider. I caught it, and I released it into the backyard. I wanted to kill it. I wanted it to die so I never have to see it again. I'm so afraid that, I released the spider in the backyard and then it just comes right back in the house or something. And now it's pissed because it had to make that long trek, probably the equivalent to 10 miles or something. It's got a vendetta now. It wants revenge. Why the fuck did you do that to me? I've got babies. I laid eggs all around your house. I've got to watch these things. And you dropped me off in the middle of nowhere. I didn't kill the spider because it was so large. I didn't want to see its guts. It was going to be really messy. The other thing I was going to do was just flush it down the toilet, but then I was afraid it wouldn't flush all the way down. And then I'd an hour or two later, I'd be sitting down and take a shit or something, and it would crawl out up into my butthole. There's a lot of thoughts that were running through my mind. There was method to my madness. The worst thing you could do is try to kill a spider, but it lives. I didn't want to deal with that. So this guy used the blowtorch method. Apparently he wanted to kill multiple spiders. The Fresno Fire Department responded just before 11 p.m. to a 2-alarm fire. Firefighters say the fire started after a man was using a blowtorch to kill the spiders. The fire quickly spread into the garage. Firefighters were able to stop the fire before it consumed any of the living space, which means most likely the spiders lived. And now you've disturbed them, you've angered them, and they're gonna be coming after you. A total of 29 firefighters responded to the fire. Nobody, including spiders, were injured in the fire. That, my friends, is your Distorted News for Wednesday. Let's do a couple voicemails and get the hell out of here. Love to hear from you freaks. There are many ways to contact the show. show@distortedview.com. That's my email address. Send along links to stuff you find funny or Distorted View worthy. I might just play it on the show. Voicemail line 206-666-4463. We also have that special voicemail line just for patrons. As a matter of fact, I think I have a few of those calls right now.
Hey, Tim, this is one of your long-time Sideshow freaks and Patreon and lifetime freaks. And I just wanted to call in and give a big fuck you to the whinging little British cunt who called in to complain that racism is just not funny. It's easy, which is my way.
Well, he was really not going to like today's episode of Distorted View because we got that black chick who thinks she's white. Then we got those racist ads. I think it was and I could be wrong here because I'm wrong a lot, but I think what he was complaining about was a very specific thing. where there's like those racist confrontations that we play on the show, where it's like, a white woman calling the cops on black people barbecuing, or a white person calling cops because she thought a black kid touched her butt when really, just rubbed up against it by accident. Those type of incidents he doesn't like.
Easy, which is my way of saying Tim's lazy, I'm speaking in a calm, serious, condescending tone.
Oh, is that what you think he was saying? I'm lazy? How? I'm with you. That guy's a dick.
I know how very tiring it is to have to tell you.
Fuck you! Fuck you!
So here's another in a long line of people who's fine with making fun of the mentally ill, the mentally retarded, gays, bis, trannies, straight, the homophobes, the Republicans, the Democrats, the sovereign citizens, the old people, dying babies, amputated penises, Christians, Muslims, Jews, fat people, blind people, disabled people, anorexic, crushed bunnies, pedophilia, murder, rape. Am I leaving anything out?
Wow.
Oh, but
yeah, I've hit all of those over the years, huh?
Not racism. No, that's not funny. Wrong. Bullshit. Blatant, ridiculous, ignorant racists are funny, and sometimes they say really funny things. If you notice, in half the clips, the black people are openly laughing at them. So sorry, you limey poofter. You do not get to pick and choose with DD. You get offended.
You say VD?
Grow up and fast forward a bit. Get off your high horse.
All right. Well, thank you very much. You know what? I think I agree with you there.
So yeah, Throbbing Gristle, very important. Not platinum sellers, not exactly a band. In the early 70s, they were curating and exhibiting porn in public spaces, like museums and art galleries.
What the hell is this guy talking about? Swimming Russells? What?
Curate and exhibit porn in a podcast. None of the members were trained musicians or what you call singers, but they create and release music, which people still buy decades on. You're not a trained musician or a singer, but you create and publish music, which people pay you for.
Ah, I'm an artist.
Masturbation is part of the performances, and you don't jerk off live, but we've heard you play with your cum in your belly button. So you masturbating has been part of your
how
show.
Embarrassing.
The group leader spent
Don't
years in
bring that
exile
up.
because things he said were taken out of context in a documentary. Somebody made a documentary and took things you said.
There's no way I could ever get a normal fucking job after this. I wonder if on our Freakypedia or on the Distorted View Wikipedia, if there's any reference to me making noise out of my belly button when it was full of cum.
Context, you'd have to leave the fucking
I hope
planet.
not. That doesn't need to be plastered on the internet. We can leave some details about the show out.
Point is, you are the Throbbing Gristle of podcasting.
Oh, Throbbing Gristle. Okay.
If you made Baby Guts 40 years ago, you'd be a genius. Now you're just copying Throbbing Gristle.
Oh.
You'd not think of
I
making
didn't even know I was.
that yourself. And more so because the instruments to create
I didn't even realize I was a hack.
that sound didn't exist. Throbbing Gristle made the instruments. They made the synthesizers and
Oh,
sequencers.
my God. Suck Throbbing
and here's
Gristle's
the kicker.
dick already.
Their fans are your target market.
Well, okay, get them to listen to the show, okay? I can't do everything here. Please. God damn. Finally today.
Hey, Tim, it's Roy.
Hi.
Some guy called in and said your audio sounds like crap. He is full of crap. Your audio sounds fine.
Oh.
I listened to
You would not believe. So today I spent 4 hours digging around. So I got so angry with my PreSonus audio mixer a couple days ago that I ripped it out. I just took it all out and I replaced it with this other thing that I had, which is just an audio interface. And I was using that for a few days. And then today I thought, all right, I am going to sit down. I'm going to reset this mixer back to its factory settings because it's all fucking, software, firmware, all that bullshit. So I set it all. I reset everything. And then I spent 4 fucking hours getting everything to sound right. And I've got like multiple computers I need audio sent to now because I'm trying to do video, although I haven't done a video in like a week. But anyway, so I've got it going to like the Windows computer too, and for some reason, like the audio doesn't sound the same. It was just driving me crazy. So I think I have that all. I hope today's show sounds okay. Otherwise, I'm going to blow my brains out if I get voicemails like, "What the fuck was? I couldn't understand anything on Wednesday's show."
the podcast.
Your levels are way off.
Both at home, in the car. I know what bad podcast quality is like.
Yeah.
Levels going all over the place. There are certain podcasts I can't listen to in the car.
Yeah.
Because of that. Yours is not one of them.
So, well, there are sometimes, the problem is I play audio clips, right? And the audio levels vary wildly from clip to clip. And a lot of people don't know how to talk into a goddamn microphone. It drives me up the wall when that happens.
I promise you, your levels are fine. That guy is...
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that. I did a quick search last night, I think, on Craigslist. I was like, I would like to work with some other podcasters. I think it's timed, and that might bring more exposure to Distorted View and stuff. So I said, what? Well, maybe there's some people in Cincinnati looking for podcast hosts, or I don't know. I help out with their show or whatever. I've got some wisdom I can share, and so I don't know why. I got on Craigslist and I looked up podcast, and sure enough, there was like 2 or 3 people either looking for hosts or looking for people to work for free. And the more I thought about it, the more I'm like, these people, they don't have a podcast right now, right? They're in the planning stages, and I don't want to deal with that because I know I'll be doing all the fucking heavy lifting to help them out. And like most podcasters, they'll do it for a week or two and then drop it. And then there's like one guy showed a picture of his. If you go to like the Cincinnati Craigslist thing or whatever, and search for podcast, you'll see this. It's like one guy was looking for a host, and he showed a picture of his studio space, and he's like, "I've got professional equipment." It's like the cheapest fucking shit, right? And it's like he's got like these crappy little IKEA desks, and I don't know. It was supposed to be enticing or something. But you know what? I'm not going to do that. Thought it might be fun to work with other Cincinnati podcasters, but the only one who is actually, like, I know of, like a real podcaster, someone who's had a podcast for a long time, is this guy who does the Audacity to podcast, and he also does like comedy podcasts and stuff, but he's like Christian, and I just I would slip up. Like, I could try to work with him, like, I don't have to be dirty. I do. But I know I would slip up and I would feel bad. All right, an abortion joke would slip in, or a cum fart audio sound effect or something. All right, that is all the time we have on this edition of the show. Want you guys to email me, show@distortedview.com. Distortedview.com is our official website. Voicemail line for you, 206-666-4463. That's 206-660-GOD. Is it?
Fuck you! Stop.
Spread the distortion, STD. Tell all your friends about the podcast. Don't forget to rate us and review us on iTunes. Remember, tomorrow's show is Sideshow exclusive. If you want to hear it, you got to sign up. Super free. Sideshow.com. Support the program. Otherwise, I'll see you back on Friday. Until then, have a great day. Bye, everybody.
Hello, my treacherous friends. Thank you for joining me here tonight. I brought you all here to discuss as I must how pleasant it's been. Hello, my treacherous friends. Thank you for joining me here tonight. I brought you all here to discuss as I must how pleasant it's been this tonight.
What do you want?
Talk.
When do you want it?
Now.
What do you want?
You know what I want.
When do you want it?
Anytime.